Today, we are very honored to invite Ms Zeinab Hendawi to share how we can prevent this cultural misinterpretation. So, hailing from Syria, Ms Hendawi is a native speaker of Arabic and has excellent communication skills in English. She is well informed about the theories of foreign language teaching and learning, and highly versed in teaching Arabic to non-native speakers. Having lived, studied, and worked in different countries, she has cross-cultural understanding. She started teaching Arabic at the National University of Singapore's External Language Program in July 2018 and has received very positive feedback and teaching evaluations from students. Today's sharing session may be a bit different from our previous events. Ms. Hendawi will ask questions in between her presentation to encourage participation to make it more interesting. So we do encourage your active participation via the chat function when she asks questions. Should we have time later for Q&A, we will turn off the chat function, so you will need to use the raise hand function or send your question directly via chat to our host, who will then pass your question to Ms. Hendawi. So this will help to reduce confusion for our speakers. So without further ado, we will invite Ms. Hendawi now to please start the sharing session. Ms. Hendawi, please. Thank you.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you very much for the introduction. And I would like also to thank Middle East Institute for inviting me for another lecture on Arab culture. Also, I would like to extend my thanks for everyone joining us today. I will start right away with our presentation. Let me share to welcome you in the traditional Arabic way. I will start welcoming you in the Arabic way or traditional Arabic way, which is Ahlan wa sahlan bikum. Ahlan wa sahlan bikum. In English, if you want to translate it to English, it means welcome to all of you. But when we come to translate it into Arabic, it has a much deeper meaning. It means you are like my family and you enter a place where you are welcome. This greeting in Arab, they use it to show a very warm welcome to the person they meeting, and usually it's a way to say to welcome the guest, to welcome people in their country. Also, they use it as a way to say hello for somebody they meet for the first time. So they use this greeting a lot in every way, in everyday interaction. Now let me start with presenting the content of today's talk. Today we will talk about Arab culture, differences and similarities, Arabic language, values and belief, social expectation and etiquette, gestures. I will teach you also some key colloquial words and taboos. During the lecture, I will show you some videos, and we will, if we have time, we will do quiz at the end. Before I start my presentation, I will ask the audience to participate in the chat and give me their opinion. What is culture? So please participate with us and write in the chat box. What is culture? If you want to define culture, what does it mean? Yeah, Funkin here, he's saying it's food. Sam, practices and tradition of a group of people. She means the norms in societies. Farah, no, social norms and belief. Fadil, custom and tradition of a group. Yes, correct. All of this is correct about if you want to define culture. And there are many, many definitions of culture. If you want to speak about culture, there are a lot of things can be said about the product of the culture. A lot of things can be said about the social part of the culture, the physical part of the culture. So there are a lot of definition about culture, but I will start by this definition here. So culture is defined as the values and attitudes practiced by a group of people. Also, usually a human, they create culture to make sense of their social and physical world. Today we will focus on those two parts, the social and physical worlds. Now, if I show you this map here, as we can see here, this is a map of the Arab world. Arab world, the culture is spread in the Arab world widely from the west to the east. Now, if I ask you a question, is the Arab culture is one culture in all of these countries? Is it one culture? Here, someone saying there are shared similarities, maybe. Correct. Now, is it one culture? Although Arabs, they share many things in common in their social life. They share one official Arabic language. They believe that they are cultural unit. They have the same values and beliefs. However, differences among them when we move from one Arabic to another, are very obvious. So if we start talking about to define these differences, we will go to the topic of main region of the Arab culture. Arab world is divided into a main region. We will start with Al-Maghrib or North Africa. Al-Maghrib, it means in Arabic, the Arab West, includes 4 countries, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya. When we go to the Nile Valley, we will find Egypt and Sudan. The Levant region, inside it, we will, the countries included in this region, Lebanon, Syria, Palestine. Also, we have Jordan and Iraq. Arabian Peninsula, this region includes Saudi Arabia, Yemen, the Arabian Gulf states, and which include Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman. Now, if we look into this main region, we will start seeing all the differences among them. If we look into their structure, the housing structure, or architectural structure, you will find it is different. Like here, you will find the Moroccan house looks like this. Here is the pyramids. Here is if we go to Batra in Jordan. If we go to Arabian Peninsula, the structure or the type of housing is different also from one country to another. Variety of food. Food also, when we look into the Arab world, food is different from one Arab country to another. We have many various cuisine in the region. Starting from here, we have the couscous in Morocco. If we go towards, also we have tagine. Those 2 dishes very common in the Al-Maghrib region. If we go towards Egypt or Sudan, we will find kushari is the main dish. When we go towards Sham area or Levant area, we will find hot and cold mezes. When we go down to Arabian Peninsula, we will find the cuisine consists of kabsa, haris. So as we can see, there are many differences in cuisine from one region to another. However, although we have differences in their food, they always share values together. the value in presenting their food, the value when they are welcoming people for hosting them for dinner or lunch. The value is sharing among all this country. The two important value, hospitality and generosity, we'll speak about them again during the lecture. Now, if we move to speak about the style of dress, a style of dress is also different from one Arab country to another. For example, in Al-Maghrib, this is the traditional clothes in Al-Maghrib area or region. When we go to Egypt, this is the old traditional clothes. Towards the Levant area will look something like this. Now, when we look towards the Arabian Peninsula, we will find it's more conservative, and people in this region, they're really preserving the traditional clothes. You can see people in the street, they wearing their abayas or their long dress, white long dress, and it gets more conservative in this area than when we go to the Levant area or Egypt or the Al-Maghrib region. Now, if we speak about this, as you can see, we have many differences, but again, we have a sharing value among them, modesty in dress, the sharing value among all the Arabic country, and they try to be, I don't mean, when I'm saying about Arab, I don't mean all the Arab, most of the Arab, they keep, they try to keep their modesty in dress. Now, if we move to speak about political structure also is different from one Arab country to another. For example, if we look into Syria, we will find its republic. When we go towards Morocco, monarchies, emirates, we will find emirates, political structure emirates, such as Kuwait, which is ruled by Amir, leader, or prince. Now, if we move to speak about also more differences among those Arab countries in the Arab world, they have more differences when we speak about also the dialects spoken from one Arab country to another. Now, if we move to, if we start with the North African or Maghrib, we will find different dialects, like we will find the Libyan dialect, Tunisian dialect, Algerian, Moroccan, even Mauritanian dialect. So the dialect is different from one region to another. In Egypt, we will find the Egyptian and Sudani, Levantine, Shami, they have different dialects. Just like the difference we find in English from one country to another, the same applies to the Arabic dialect. We will find Arabic dialect is different from one Arab country to another, and even from one city to another. And even if we want to speak in more detail, it's different from one village to another. So it's really different. We have a lot of various dialects in the Arab world. Now, usually the dialect in these regions are affected by or influenced by the old local language, such as in here we have the Berber and the French. If we go towards Egyptian and Sudan, we have Coptic, Turkish, some of the old local language. Levantine, we will find the Aramaic and the old Semitic language in this region. So the dialect in this region are influenced so much by the old local dialect. Now, since we are speaking about the language or colloquial Arabic language, I will start now. As I mentioned earlier, Arabs, they share beliefs and value attitudes, and then they are, as I explained now, their physical road, the product of the culture, is different from one country to another. But when we look into their social life, they have many things in common. So if we go to their social life, first, when we will speak about Arabic language. Arabic language is a part that shared among all Arab countries. I will quickly go through this one. Arab is one of the oldest Semitic group of language. The inhabitants of Arabian Peninsula were the first to use the Arabic even pre-Islamic times, and with the expansion of Islam, Arabic was spread in the northwest west. Arabic language is also considered one of the world's most widely spoken language. In addition to what I mentioned earlier, the official language in all the Arab world or Arab countries is the official is the modern standard Arabic. Also, Arabic language is the official language, one of the official language in the United Nations. Arabic language is very important for Arab because it's the language of the Holy Quran and the sacred, which is the sacred book of Islam. Now, when we speak about modern standard Arabic, the one that is the one language that shared among all Arab countries. This language is used for the written and spoken form. We use it for politics, literature, school. But again, I will repeat, when we speak about the dialect, they are different from one country to another. However, with the exposure to media, we are able to understand people around the Arab world, like the Egyptian dialect is very well understood by all the Arab people because of the movies, serials, songs, all these help us to understand each other. Now, if we speak about the type of Arabic language, if you decide to study Arabic language, you really need to decide which type of Arabic you want to study. If you want to study Arabic for religious purpose, or to learn about old literature or history, then you have to go for the classical Arabic. Now, if you want to learn Arabic as a formal language to be able to communicate with the people in all the Arab country, then modern standard Arabic will be your choice. If you want to go and visit one Arab country, a specific Arabic country, and you want to communicate with the people in this Arab country, then colloquial Arabic or the dialect will be also your choice. As I mentioned earlier, the dialect is different from one region, from one country to another. However, we have a shared dialect in between the region of Arab world, such as the region here, as I mentioned earlier, the MEI region. We have similar dialect, like here, if I come to Levantine, Syrian, Lebanese, Palestine, and Jordanian will share the same vocab, the same grammar, the same accent. It's different, but you can tell is very similar. Now, when we go to Egypt, it's completely different from the Levantine or Shami. So you need to decide which one you want to study from this dialect. Now I'm going to give you more information about Arabic language, script of Arabic language. We read and write Arabic from right to left. We have 28 Arabic letters, and additionally, we have 14 extra samples that function, play different function. Each Arabic letter has 4 shapes, depending where they occur in a word. For example, if I take one letter in Arabic, ba, this is the independent shape for ba. This is initial position, ba in initial position. This is ba in a medial position, and this is ba in final position. As we can see, the Arabic letters are connected to each other. We still have a few 6 Arabic letters that are not connected, but most of the letters are connected to form a word. Now, I'm going now to teach you some basic modern standard Arabic to introduce yourself. I will start with most common greeting in the Arab and Islamic world, which is Assalamu alaikum, and the reply for it, Wa alaikumus salam. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikumus salam. Usually people, when they start with Assalamu alaikum, you can't reply to them by saying hello or another word. The reply should be Wa alaikumus salam. Now, when you greet people, you have to always whenever you enter any place, whenever you go to any social occasion, to your class, to the office, you have to greet people, especially if you are the person who is entering the place. You have to greet everyone. If you don't greet people, it's considered not a very good manner. So we make sure to greet people, and people also, they will always reply back by wa alaikum salam. And now, if we have another way of greeting, marhaban, marhaban. The reply for marhaban, it means we say ahlan bika. For a male, ahlan bika, and for a lady, ahlan biki. Marhaban, ahlan bika, and ahlan biki. Again, I will repeat ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan, the one that I mentioned earlier, that has a very deep meaning. Ahlan wa sahlan can mean also hello. So when you greet someone with ahlan wa sahlan, the reply can be, we have many ways for greeting people, but I choose a very simple one for you today. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan biki. When you when here the lady replying to another lady, she will say ahlan biki. When he replied to a male, ahlan bika, ahlan biki, ahlan bika. Now I will teach you how to introduce yourself. My name is, how to say it in Arabic. My name is Ismi Zeinab. Ismi Zeinab. Ismi Ahmed. Ismi Ahmed. Ismi Sarah. Ismi Sarah. Now, if you asking a male person, what is your name? If I'm asking someone in front of me sitting, his name Ahmed, I'm asking him, what is your name? I will say to him, Masmuka. Masmuka. And he will say to me, Ismi Ahmed. Now, if I'm asking a lady or a female, let's say Sarah, she's sitting here, and I'm asking her, what is your name? I will say, Masmuki. And her reply will be, Ismi Sarah. So, Masmuka, to ask a male, Masmuki, to ask a female. After someone, he tell us his name, usually we say to him, nice to meet you. I choose also the very simple one to use when you say nice to meet you to someone. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you in Arabic, tasharrafna. Tasharrafna, pleased to meet you, or nice to meet you. And you can use the same exchange to reply back to the person. Now in English, it means pleased to meet you. The deeper meaning in Arabic, we have been honored. Now I will teach you how to say where to answer where are you from. I will start with introducing myself. أنا من سوريا. أنا من سوريا. أنا I am من from Syria. Now, if you wanna say more details or give more details, من مدينة حلب. أنا من سوريا من مدينة حلب. It means I'm from Syria, from the city of Aleppo. If I wanna say this sentence in different context, I would say أنا من فرنسا من مدينة باريس. I'm from France, from the city of Paris. أنا من فرنسا من مدينة Paris. Now, to ask the people, where are you from? You will, we have also, in Arabic, we have everything we have for female and male. So if we want to ask male, where are you from? We will say, من أين أنت? من أين أنت? And the answer will be the same. أنا من Singapore, for example. If we want to ask a lady, where are you from? من أين أنت? And the answer will be also the same. أنا من, and the country that you are from. Now I'm going to also put for you another video for people introducing themselves from different countries. So let me share with you the video and try to guess those people from which country.
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. اسمي حسني بنيس وأنا من المغرب من مدينة مكناس.
Can you hear Kevin?
Yes, I can hear that. Yeah.
السلام عليكم. أنا اسمي علا نجاح الشالشي. أنا من مدينة بغداد في العراق.
صباح الخير، أنا اسمي إكرام المصمودي، أنا من تونس من مدينة صفاقس.
صباح الخير، أنا اسمي شكري جوهر وأنا من مصر من مدينة القاهرة.
أهلا وسهلا، أنا اسمي وفاء أبو النعاج، فلسطينية من مدينة الناصرة.
السلام عليكم، أنا اسمي عوض مبارك من السودان، وفي السودان أنا من مدينة الخرطوم.
Again, may I ask the audience to share with us if they can tell us where these people from. Farah, Tunis, Palestine, Sudan, Herman, Morocco, Iraq, Sam, Tunisia, Iraq, Sudan, correct. Fadil, Egypt, Cairo, yeah, correct. Very good. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that spoken Arabic is completely different from the formal Arabic. In order to let you see that, I will share with you another video for the people speaking the dialect. Now here the same people, but they speaking in the dialect Arabic or Arabic dialects.
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. سميتي حسني بنيس وأنا من المغرب من مدينة مكناس.
هلا بكم، أنا اسمي علا نجاح الشالشي، أنا من مدينة بغداد بالعراق.
عسلامة، شنو أحوالكم؟ أنا اسمي كرام، أنا من تونس من مدينة صفاقس.
صباح الخير، أنا اسمي شكري جوهر وأنا من مدينة القاهرة.
السلام عليكم. أنا عوض مبارك من السودان، وفي السودان أنا من مدينة الخرطوم. السلام عليكم مرة تانية، وكيف حالكم؟
So as you can see, there is a difference between formal Arabic and spoken Arabic. And we can tell the difference more when we communicate with people in the Arab country. Now I'm going to continue with our slide. We have learned how to introduce ourselves in Arabic, but now how to call the people, how to address the people, also very important in Arabic, to address the people and use the title in addressing the people, especially if the people, they're not your friend or part of the family. We have different way for addressing people in the Arab world, and it's usually we use this way or titles as a sign of respect for the person. For example, if you don't know the lady and you want to call her but you don't know her name, you will call her Anisa. Anisa usually to address a young unmarried woman. And we use usually in Arabic, it's very common to use the addressing particle yeah. Yeah, we use it a lot between us in formal and informal situation. For example, I will call Sharon, I'll say yeah Sharon. I will call another person Fadi, yeah Fadi. So we use it a lot in our when we addressing or calling people directly. Now, when we address married lady, we will call her Madame. Before her name, we say Madame. And then we will mention the first name of the person. Now, this slide on how to address lady. Now, if you wanna call a married lady, usually we have a special form or traditional form to call a married lady who has children. We usually informal and friends and relatives, they use this way to call the lady. They call her by her eldest son. For example, my son, his name is Jalal, so they will call me Jalal. It means mother of Jalal. So Jalal, he is my eldest son. And this is a very old tradition in Arab culture. They use it a very long time ago, before Islam, pre-Islam even. Now, if you want to call elderly woman, you will now it depends if she is a Muslim lady or not a Muslim lady. You can tell usually if she's wearing a scarf, she is a Muslim, then you will call her Hajja. All the people, formal, informal, friends, relative, usually they will call Hajja an elderly Muslim woman. It's a title of respect, and it has also religious meaning behind it. Now, another way to call all elderly woman, we can say Khala, is the same as aunt in English, Khala. So this form of address to call ladies. We have another form of address to call men. One of them, which is for formal situation, you don't know the person, but you want to call him in a name that show him respect from your side. You will call him Ya Akh or Ya Akhi. It means brother. You call him as a brother for you. This one especially when the person he's not one of your relatives in a formal situation. Now, usually people in formal situation or with friends or with family, they will call you by your first name. Yeah, Yasser, yeah, Ahmed. So first name is used in this situation. Again, now if for married man, they will call him by his oldest son. So father of Ahmed, his oldest son. So they will call him Abu Ahmed. And with the lady, as I mentioned earlier, Ahmed. Abu Ahmed, Ahmed. And now for stranger elderly person, you can say also Amma, my uncle. Another way to address elderly, Hajji. So we see here with lady, we call her Hajja. With elderly, for men, we say Hajji. Now in professional, for professional title, we use also some different titles. For medical and academic professional, we will say Dr. George or Dr. Ali. For a lady, we will call her Doctora Khadija, Doctora Suzanne. So you mention the first name of the person after the title. For educated person or school teacher or white collar employee, we call Ustaz. Ustaz for a male and Ustaza for a female. A very formal situation and correspondence, we use Sayyid for a male and Sayyida for a female. Now I will move to our main subject of today, which is, as I mentioned earlier in my first slide, Arabs, they share many things in common. I mentioned that they share the Arab language, the modern standard Arabic among them. They believe they are cultural unit and they have the same values and belief. And this is the importance of between all the Arab countries, the important part, the shared or the same values and belief. Now, if we speak about this part, I will start with the center of Arab values and belief. The center of Arab values and belief is religion and family and all tradition. Religion central to all things. Religion in Arab country, Islam makes up 95% of the Arab people in the Arab world. We have another 5% of Christian, and we have also a few thousand of Jews in a few Arab countries. Now, when speaking about the family is the center of everything. Family structure is the same in all the Arab countries. Everyone must respect and follow the rule of his family. Family is very important in the Arab world. Now, the other parts, so I mentioned the center of the Arab values and belief, family, religion, and we have the old Bedouin tradition, which we call it in Arabic. It doesn't have a translation, like a direct translation in English, but we call it Shiyam Al-Arab, including morals, their old morals and principal characteristics of Arab. Arab, they have a main or old moral and principle that they told us about it through their history, through many stories about hospitalities of Arab, about the value of forgiving others when you have the chance to take revenge, for helping others. Arab people, they are very famous in the olden time for being very helpful to others. They help the people. Even if they can't help, they always promise the person to help them. Al-Muru'a also is very important part in the old Bedouin tradition. Now, al-muru'a, it has a very deep meaning, and it doesn't have also a literal translation in English, but this one word has inside it a lot of description about this word. Al-muru'a means generosity, magnanimity, help, bravery, patience, honor, kindness. So all these characteristics can be found in the word al-muru'a. And Arab, they are very influenced by this old moral and principle, and they transfer it from one generation to another. They are very proud of this old Bedouin tradition. Now, if we speak about Arab values and belief, Arab, they have many shared values and belief among them. The most important that the religious affiliation, everyone in the Arab country must have a religious affiliation, and they believe that there is only one God, and God is very powerful. Now, Arab also, they believe that most of the events that are controlled by fate or by God will, rather than by human. Arab also, they have a very important value, which is high moral standards. High moral standards, everyone expecting to have a high moral standard, to be conservative, to have a good manner. All these standards important between Arab people. Now, when we speak about the family part, loyalty to the family is very important. Loyalty to the family, everyone should be respectful for his family. That usually everyone he must respect elderly. Everyone expected to have a family and children. Usually the son is responsible, or he has to care for his parents in their advanced age, and misbehavior, for example, by women of Arab society can cause damage for the reputation and honor. So everyone is expected to be loyal to his family and to put the family reputation, honor before his own preferences. Usually also we have social status and family background will always add to the personal status. We have also personal status can be also the personal status of any person can be good, but if he has a good character or he has a great achievement in his life, will affect also his personal status. As I mentioned also, Arab has high regards for their tradition. Tradition, as I mentioned here, hospitality, the forgiving other, helping, muru'a, all these values are very important in the Arab society. As a result of these values and beliefs, Arab, they have their own self-perception as being loyal, generous, friendly, humanitarian, hospitable, polite, and kind. Also, they believe that they have rich cultural heritage. They are very passionate about food. They believe that the Arabic language is a very rich language and a very important language. So this is Arab self-perception about themselves. Now, as I go forward, you will see all this value very clear through the social context that I will introduce to you now. Starting with the greeting etiquette. Usually the Arab, they greet themselves in different way. Also, this one is related to different region. For example, Bedouin culture, by touching the nose of each other, it will be also a sign of friendship and respect. Formal greeting will be shaking hands. Close friends, usually they have a lot of physical touching and hugging and showing a lot of emotion, kisses on both cheeks. Now, how many cheeks on the cheeks? This one I prepared a video for you to understand more about greeting or etiquette in greeting Arab people.
But how many kisses? Which side of the cheek? And you might think you already know this, or you've got it under control. But when Arabs kiss other Arabs, things can go very, very wrong. You should have gone left.
Oh, I was going right. You should have went left.
The right that touches the right cheek, you should have gone left. The first and most important rule, if you take nothing away from this video, take this. When you lean in to greet another Arab with a kiss, you go to your left, giving them your right cheek. The first and most common greeting throughout most of the Arab world are 3 kisses, one on each side of the cheek. The second greeting that is most common to Saudi Arabia is 1 kiss with the right side of the cheek, followed by 3 kisses on the left side. Next is the common greeting in the United Arab Emirates, which is 1 kiss with the nose. But this might change depending on the person. Sometimes it goes to 2 kisses on the nose or 3 times. You'll just have to play it by ear or play it by nose. That wasn't funny at all. Gotta try, right? Next, if you haven't seen someone in a very long time, this could result in an endless array of kisses which might never end. Additionally, it is not uncommon that an incredible amount of dialogue is used during the greeting in between each kiss.
What's going on? How's the family? How's everything? Are you doing well? Yeah,
man. I saw Tony yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. I hope this guide to greeting others in the Arab world helps you avoid all awkward situations for the foreseeable future. Happy greetings, much love, and God bless you all.
Now I'm going back to greeting etiquette. As I mentioned, close friends, they hug and kiss each other. The number of kisses, as you seen in the video, is different from one Arab country to another. Like in Syria, we kiss, we do it two kisses on both cheek. In Lebanon, it's 3. So it's different from one Arab country to another. But it's, of course, it's not applicable now in the COVID situation to do that. So now, if we go to greeting the opposite sex and elders, it's also, you need to be careful with this part. Usually, don't attempt to shake hands with Arab female unless she initiates the handshake first. So usually, if you don't know this etiquette or you don't know about this value or tradition of Arab, and you try to shake hand, the other lady, she will put her right hand on the chest or on the heart, as to show you she can't shake, but she's showing you a lot of respect. And we can say the same for men. Some religious men, they don't like to shake hand with lady, so they will do this. So best not to start or initiate a handshake unless the person he initiated with you. Now, this one, I wanted to mention that this is not applicable to all the Arab, but some of the Arab. Everything I'm mentioning in my lecture today is not applicable or it's not about all Arab, but most of the Arab, and it depends also on the situation, on the context, on the people that you meet. Also, I'm speaking about the people in the Arab world itself. It's not about people who are experienced with Western culture or who live outside of the Arab country. Now, for elders, we usually, the kids or even the children, they kiss the kids and even the children when they are older, even they kiss they kiss the hand and they put it on their forehead. For elders, they will, in Emirates, usually they kiss the forehead of the elders as a sign of respect and politeness. Now I will go. This is about the etiquette of greeting. Now, usually also before I move on, usually when you shake hand, start with your right hand, not the left hand. It's important to keep this in mind. Now I will move to the very important value in Arab culture, which is hospitality. Arab are they're very proud of the tradition of hospitality. They offer usually for family, friends, and stranger, and they find it a perfect opportunity to display their generosity, and they also demonstrate their personal regards to you, and the same. They also expect the same in you and the other. So usually when you visit people without appointment to their office or shop or home, they will always offer you a lot of they will try to be very welcoming and to show you a lot of happiness and warm welcome when you visit them. Usually they will serve you something, and the most common drinks that they serve is coffee and tea. But if you're visiting the Arab without appointment, usually there is also etiquette that you don't accept the offer of drinking or eating something. You have to refuse it, and usually the guest, he will insist that you have to drink or you have to eat, and you have to refuse it another time, and he will keep insisting. This refusal and insisting, it's also a very traditional way in Arab country to show politeness and generosity on the both sides. Usually the word generous in Arabic, karim. Hospitality also show the value of trust and friendship. Hospitality also affects your reputation. As I mentioned earlier, honor and reputation is very important in for Arab values and beliefs. So it will affect your reputation. And if you're not very good hospitable person, then also this one will give you bad image or negative image between the Arabs people. Now I will move to how people they greet their guests. Usually they have in every Arab house or in most of Arab houses, they have a guest room to welcome their guests. They call it in Arab countries, in other Arab countries, majlis, and also salon. Salon, usually it's a very nice area that makes their guests comfortable. It's usually this area, you will find very beautiful furniture. They will serve you drinks in the best cups they have, they will bring the best tray. So you will find everything valuable and beautiful in this guest room. where they welcome their guests. And usually the Arab, when they welcome their guests, they show so much, they give the guests so much attention that sometimes the person, he feel uncomfortable with so much attention. They will keep saying ahlan wa sahlan, they repeat ahlan wa sahlan to make sure the person is comfortable, he feeling at home in their place. And now I will move to another important value and tradition in Arab culture. It's sharing food, sharing snacks. When you are in the office, workshop, or at home, if somebody visits you, usually they will serve you something, and if they are eating or drinking and you come without appointment, they will always offer to share with you. When people, they go to class, to university, in occasion, always if you before you start eating something, it's a very good gesture to invite other people to eat with you. Of course, they will not take it from you, but this one is very is part of our tradition and religion. Like for example, if someone he wants to smoke, then he has to offer cigarette to everyone in the room. If you're about to eat your snacks, you always offer to the other person if you want to share with you. This value connotes equality and also show acceptance between the members. And now I will move to some belief that's also important in the Arab country. It's also not all the Arab, they believe in that, but most of the Arab, they believe in this, which is saying the belief that I'm gonna speak about it. It will be included in the subject of compliment to Arab. Usually there is one challenge you will encounter in the Arab world if you are a foreigner and you come into the Arab world. It's the difference in value of paying compliment to someone, especially about their children, about their homes, their cars, for the things they have. When you say compliment in Arab country, it's completely different from Arab culture. Why is different? Because usually before I move to this slide, usually when you pay compliment to Arab person, and if the things that you show admiration about it is small or portable, they will give it to you as a gift. They will tell you, they will insist that you will to take it, and if you don't take it, then they will actually keep insisting until you take the things that you like. This one to show you that you are more valuable than the item itself. Now I will show you a video about that.
Okay.
Q-tip time, everyone. Mr. Q, your friendly neighborhood Qatari here, and today we're going to be talking about complimenting. As you may know, Qataris are quite hospitable, and so when you go ahead and compliment something that someone has, this may happen. Hey man, what's going on? Cool? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Sweet. Oh, Matt, such a nice pen. Where did you get that from?
Thanks, man. It was actually a gift, but you can have it, man.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, you can have it, man.
Oh, thanks so much. That's cool. I really wanted one of these.
Hey man.
Oh, hey man, long time no see. What's happening? Man, is that a Richard Mill?
Yeah, it is, man.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you can have it, man.
Oh, really? Are you serious?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks. That's really cool. Sweet. Oh, hey man, what's going on? It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, give me a hug. Thank you so much.
Dude, is that a new car?
Yeah, man. You like it?
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you got my pen, my watch. Yeah, you want me home? No.
So don't be shocked if somebody offers you something after you give them a compliment. Say mashallah, say it looks better on you. It's the right thing to do. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, comment, do all of that good stuff. Leave us a question in the comment section below if you've got a question, and we'll do our best to answer it as fast as possible. Take care.
I'm going back to my slide one more time. Now, as I mentioned, saying compliment is different in the Arab world. Usually, people from other cultures, such as Americans, are taught to express their admiration openly and spontaneously as a sign of politeness and courtesy. Like they will say, wow, this is so beautiful. Wow, I like this. But sometimes here, in this situation, the values may clash and misunderstanding arise between the two parties, because a traditional Arab, he will receive it as uneasy rather than pleased, and he might not be happy to receive it. Of course, he understands it's a compliment, but inside them they feel a little bit uneasy about this. Usually, the Arab believe in something called the evil eye, or ayn. Ayn, we say he has ayn. Sometimes, as I mentioned, such admiration is misunderstood as expression of envy or an evil eye. Usually, this is a descriptive power that can cause accident, illness, unemployment, bad luck, problem. So they believe when someone he say his compliment about something, it might have destructive power on that thing. And such destructive power needs to be warded off. So how do the Arab what they do to ward off this evil eye? Usually, the key word in this context is to say something. Of course, you can say compliment, but saying the key word with the compliment, it makes it doesn't cause clash between the two cultures. And the keyword in this context is MashaAllah. Saying MashaAllah or Ism Allah, or in Lebanon they say Ismallah. MashaAllah or Ism Allah before and after your admiration will make the person feel at ease of your compliment, and he will receive it very happily. Also in Islam, usually they believe in that, and they have a special religious way for treating people who has this evil eye. In Emirat and the Gulf area, they use bakhur as protection from the evil eye. They will put the scent in their places. So when people they enter their places, they will smell the scent. This one they believe is protection from evil eye. I mean, not all Arabs, but most of the Arab. And here, for less educated people, they believe also in the blue eye. This one. Maybe you have seen this in some countries. And here, this one, the 5 finger that they dip it in the slaughter sheep, and they put it on sometimes on the car or on the door, as also they believe is ward of the evil eye. Some people they do other things to protect themselves from the evil eye by keeping everything secret, especially if they believe this person he doesn't have really good intention towards them, or he has envy. They will keep everything secret from them until they finish their things. Usually they will also they will try to avoid putting the picture of their families, children on media, also as protection from the evil eye. And now this is about the compliment. So the keyword for compliment, to say MashaAllah, we can always say compliment, but saying it with MashaAllah or Ism Allah, it makes it more, the Arab will receive it more positive than negative. Now, if when we go to to the work or the office place is completely different story. Now, showing compliment about people, about things, you should be careful with it, but praising the character or the work is another story in the Arab office. Usually, managers are expected to praise their employee from time to time to reassure that their work is noticed and appreciated. They will say, like, for example, you are an excellent employee, or you have added, you are a great asset to our company. So they will say a lot of reassurance. They will give feedback for the employee, for their good employee, as a sign of politeness and appreciation. Now, moving from praising someone to criticism. Criticism is very sensitive subject in the Arab world, and usually, if the criticism, it's not, if you don't put it in the correct context, and or if it wasn't constructive feedback or constructive criticism, then it might be received by the other person as a personal insult. So you have to be very careful with the criticism or criticizing Arab, because this will show will cause for them losing the face, and it's something it affects their reputation, and they will have, it's a shame for them, like ar or aib. So always try, if you Arab people usually, when they criticize at workplace, they are very careful how to pay their criticism or to say it, because this one also, we have a shared value. Honor and dignity are very important, are more important than other things, or than fact even. Now, sometimes if we speak about the difference in two culture, for example, American, when they fire something, they will say you're fired. But Arab, they believe that the powerful of word is very important. So they will always use the beautiful language to convey their message to the other side. They will say to the person, if they want to fire him, Allah ma'ak, it means God with you. So they will say it in a very positive way, even if they fire in the person. So this one, we need to be aware of it. Now I have collected for you some important etiquette in the Arab culture, very important. You don't need to imitate Arabs, but you should be aware of their practices, social practices, and be respectful for that. Now, etiquette in the Arab culture, usually the men stand when a woman enters the room. When you are in a social gathering and when someone enters, everyone stands to welcome this person. Now, the same when somebody leaving, also everybody will stand when they arrive or when they leave, especially when elderly enter social gathering. He will have so much attention. They will give him so much attention and respect. And usually he is greeted first. Men also allow women to precede them through doorways. Whenever they enter in any place, they will let the woman, ladies first in all culture usually. Men offer their seat also to women if no others are available. Now, another etiquette, when you're saying goodbye to your guests, it's nice to follow them or accompany them to the entrance door to show them so much respect and hospitality. Some more etiquettes in the Arab culture. When you give gifts to Arabs, you have to give it with the two hands in a respect way, and then usually the gifts are not open in the presence of the donor. People shouldn't usually you shouldn't take photographs of Arabs without their permission. So always ask before you do that. Eye contact also important in the Arab world. During discussion, staring, usually when Arab, they keep eye contact with you during a discussion or during a meeting. It's not necessarily rude, but however, it's when you're gazing at women, this is another story. Now, usually lack of eye contact conveys that the person is not interested in you, or you are not really important for him. And lastly, Arab are very flexible with time for occasion, and a delay is not perceived as a sign of disrespect. So usually, not all the Arab, but some of the Arab for occasion, they arrive to occasion very late, and the other people, they don't receive it as a sign of disrespect, because usually people they do that all the time. Now I'm going to here put gesture and body language, and I would like the audience to participate with me and try to guess each gesture, what does it mean? And maybe you can share with us what does it mean in your culture. So let's start with this gesture. When you put in your finger like this and you do like this, what does it mean? What do you think it means in the Arab culture? Want to eat, or asking for something? Wait a moment. Yes. So Fadel, wait a moment. Yes. So it's actually, as Fadel mentioned, it's wait moment. When you say like shwai shwai, shwai shwai, or wait. So this one, we asking the person to wait a little bit. I'm doing something. Or when he's in a rush, you tell him shwai shwai, shwai shwai, slow, 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 slow. Now, this gesture, when you do like this gesture, what does it mean? When you move your hand like this, as you can see here, the lady, what does it mean? Here, this gesture, nobody participating in this one. Okay, let me see. I don't understand. What do you want? Yeah, German. Yeah, correct, German. What do you want? Yes. So when they do like this, what do you want? What do you want? They will do like this. So German, she's correct. Now when you do like this, what does it mean? What can I do? Farah, correct. What can I do? I have no idea. Now, when somebody does for you like this, stop. Yes, correct, correct. Now, when you see this hand gesture, what does it mean? Okay, Sharon, she's saying okay, perfect. Yeah, in other culture, it means okay or perfect. But in Arab culture, actually doing this, the lady, if she does it, for her children, it means you will see at home or you will get your punishment at home. So it's completely different from the culture, from other culture, or if somebody he does it like this for another person, it means I'm gonna break your neck. It has a completely different meaning from other culture. And now if we move to this gesture, what does it mean? Nobody wants to participate in this. So here, this one, it means I have ideas, I have an idea, or I found it, I found a solution. Now, when we go to the last one, last gesture, when you see somebody, he's like this at work, it means he's not happy, he's stressed. It can mean he's not in a good mood. Now, I'm going also to share you a video about gesture, more gesture in Arab culture. Please, Kevin, if you can help me put the video for gestures. Yes, you can start it, please.
Q-tip time, everyone. It's me, Hamid Al-Ammari, aka the Qatari guy, and I'm back again with another episode of Q-tips. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about hand gestures. What do they mean? The first hand gesture is the waggy finger. Wagging your finger at someone like this is very frowned upon, very accusative. And here, you might see a lot of people doing that, and if you do, you know that something's happening. Just don't get involved. Just let them be. Another gesture that's frowned upon and is used with the finger is this. Calling someone to come over to you like this, not cool. Don't do it. Just say, hey, you guys! Another hand gesture you might see here is this, which means give me a sec. Wait. It could mean other things in other cultures, but go ahead, just wait. Wait. Just wait. 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 If it gets to this, you should have waited. Now for you 13-year-old girl followers, talk to the hand.
As the kids are saying today, talk to the hand.
If you were in a discussion with someone else and that person interrupted you because he thought he could add value and you raised your hand to him to stop him from talking.
Talk to the hand.
It's not cool. Let's all be adults about this and just have a conversation.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Another thing that we're guilty of doing is this. Clapping our hands together to simulate the end of something or the emptiness of something. So it could be an argument, you go, that's it, I'm done.
No! No!
Or you could go say something like, I was there and I really wanted a new phone, but when I got to the shop, they didn't have any. So I was like, oh my God, they have no more phones. And I'm like, khalas, that's it, there are no more phones. Another hand gesture, which you might see quite often in Qatar, is this. And that's a gesture that someone is praying, asking the Lord for something. Probably forgiveness because he did something stupid in private. Another hand gesture I saw, which is probably specific to younger lads. And by younger lads, I mean cool boys. There's a group of them and all they do is this. Clicky the fingers. That's all they're doing. Super cool. I have no idea what it means. I'm guessing it means it's on fire. You're so cool. Oh my God. I don't know, but I heard it and I thought I'd share it. Another hand gesture is what? Hey, maybe I should explain what this is. This means what? What do you want? I don't look like her, do I? That's it from us here at Q-Tips. Remember, if you have any comments or questions about Qatari culture, put them in the comment section below. Like it, share it, subscribe, because that's what keeps us going. I'm out.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Kevin. I will go back to my slides. To the slides. I will teach you now some colloquial Arabic, which is from the local or the dialect of my country, Syria, Shami. So I will teach you some keywords. I will start with please, لو سمحت, لو سمحت, please, لو سمحتي, please also. The first one, لو سمحت, is for when we call a male, and لو سمحتي when I call a female. So لو سمحت, لو سمحتي, it means please. Now كل شيء تمام, كل شيء تمام, everything is all right. كل شيء تمام, كل شيء تمام, everything is all right. Or you can say only تمام, تمام. If somebody asks you, how are you? تمام. Or if somebody doing something, you can tell them تمام, you're doing great, تمام. Now the word for yes and no in the Syrian dialect, A and لا, A and لا. A, it means yes, A, and لا, it means no. So A, لا. Now, when you wanna say sorry about something you have done to someone, you can say آسف, آسف, and here آسفة. The first one for male, آسف, and for a female, آسفة, آسف, آسفة. And it's very important also in the Arab culture, when you do something wrong, you have to apologize to the person. It's also important, it's important to do that. And the same also important to show like expression of gratitude. When somebody does something good for you, always thank him, say shukran to them. Now I will go to some more keywords in Arabic. Shu, it means what? Shu, what? I have, I don't have. عندي, ما عندي. عندي, ما عندي. It means I have, I don't have. عندي, I have. ما عندي, I don't have. If you want to say I want, بدي, بدي, I want. I don't want, ما بدي. بدي, I want. ما بدي, I don't want. You can say بدي, لو سمحت, you can put it together and make a sentence. لو سمحت, please, بدي, I want. شاي, tea. Now, if you want to say no problem, ما في مشكلة. ما في مشكلة, no problem. ما في مشكلة, or there is no problem. Now, very important keyword in the Arab words is طيب. طيب, you can use it in different contexts. Like it can mean all right. It means also okay. When you say about food, delicious, you say طيب. Also, we can say it to describe someone who is good-hearted, طيب. So طيب, it has many meaning. Now, lastly, I will move to something important also in the Arab culture, which is taboos in the Arab culture. The first one, atheism. As I mentioned earlier, everyone in the Arab world must have religious affiliation, or he must belong to a religion in Arab country. and acism or showing, talking about this subject, or even telling people that you are atheist is not acceptable in society. So try to avoid talking about this subject. Now, sex education also, it's not really found in the education in the Arab world or in the school. And usually people, they try to avoid to speak it, or teachers, they avoid to speak it with their students or the children in the class. Divorce also one of the taboos for ladies in the Arab culture. Usually when the lady, she's divorced, she will always have a negative image in the Arab society, and it will cause some damage to her family reputation. So divorce also, although is accepted in Islam, however, is not people they try to avoid divorce. Mental illness also, when people, they have someone at their home who has mental illness, they don't really talk about it openly in front of other people. They don't usually try to take him for social occasion. Also, when speaking about, for example, this is another subject, when they speak about illness, like dangerous illness such as cancer, they try not to say the word itself, because they believe words are powerful and can cause negative effect if they say it. So they will always, for example, if somebody has cancer, they will not mention the word cancer. They will say he has that sickness, but they will not say it. So mental illness also, it's usually people, they keep it secret. And people's sexuality also is not it's a taboo in Arab world. People, they don't accept it. Arab people, they don't accept it usually. Another important one also, woman dating. Usually women, they don't usually or go and date another men without their family like permission, because this one also is not accepted in society. However, it's not applicable to everyone in Arab countries. Some family, they're very understanding and it's allowed, but most of the society is very conservative society. So women, they have to be very careful with their behavior, because misbehavior by any lady can cause bad reputation to her family. Usually also one of the taboos in Arab country is usury. Usually even if some people, they doing it, they don't tell it in public. So, but however, as I'm mentioning this, with exposure to other culture, with the media, with Facebook, people, a new generation start to change and to think differently. So those taboos nowadays, some of them, they start to change because of the change of society and the change of the new generation. Now we can say I come to the end of my lecture. However, if we still have a short time, I would like to take the audience to participate in Kahoot. Sharon, can we do Kahoot?
Yes, sure. Please go ahead.
Do we still have time? Yeah, I will not take a lot of time from you. So please, for all the audience, I would like to ask you to go for play Kahoot. I will write it down so you can see. Play, I will write it in the chat. Please go to play Kahoot. On your phone, if you can. Now I will open my Kahoot. Yeah, I will share with you the pin, the game pin, to join me. So please, after you go to play Kahoot, press on this. We have 2 players so far, 3. For some more people to join us. So you go to play Kahoot. I will start now. Libya is in the Levant, Al-Maghrib, the Arabian Peninsula, the Nile Valley. So Libya in Al-Maghrib region. I will go to the next question. LS is the first one. Now, pleased to meet you, or nice to meet you, pleased to meet you, or nice to meet you. Missing the D here. It means مرحبا, تشرفنا, اسمي آنسة. So nice to meet you, تشرفنا in Arabic. I will go, SH is the first one. Now I will move. We use the title to address educated person or a white collar. Haji, Doctor, Ustaz, Abu Ali. So which one we use it to address educated person? Ustaz is used to address educated person or white collar employee. However, in the Malay culture, they use the word Ustaz for a religious teacher. So it's completely different from Arab culture. Now I will move to the following one. The keyword that should be said with compliment is it's MashaAllah. We have 7 answers for this. CH on the top. Now, true or false, when an Arab shares snacks with you, it is polite to accept the offer right away. It's false. so you shouldn't accept the offer right away. You should refuse first time or second time, and when then the other person he keep insisting, then you will accept it. So refusal is a sign of politeness. Now the following one, also SH is the first one. Arabs don't open the gift in front of the gift giver. True, they don't usually open the gift in front of the gift donor. Now, if we still have SH is the first one. The word please in Arabic is please. لو سمحت. لو سمحتي. So when you call in a male, you will say لو سمحت. When you call in a female, لو سمحتي, it means please. Now I will move to the following question, or the last question. An Arab woman can live with her boyfriend until they get married. Is it correct or no? False. Yes, not true, because this is one of the taboos in Arab world. Woman dating is not accepted in the Arab world. So let's see who is the winner for today. German, the third one. The second one, funky. Good job. The first one, SH, the first one. Fadil is the first one. And sorry, I didn't see the last one. It went out. Thank you for participation in Kahoots. Now, usually when, let me teach you also one last word. Usually we say, are you with me? Just one second, let me go to myself again. So usually when you say congratulations to someone, mabruk. Mabruk, congratulations. So mabruk for SH today. And I come to the end of my session. I try my best to present a balanced perspective for the Arab world or the Arabs' values and beliefs, and also I try at the same time to be objective in the information that I present to you. I didn't present my information based only on my first experience as a native Arab. I gather the information from foreign traveler, linguists, writer who lived who lived in the Arab world for a long time and interact with the Arabs. So I really hope that you have some understanding of the Arab values and belief and some of the social practice in the Arab world. It's a long subject, so we can't talk about everything in one time. And yeah, this is the end of our talk today. Yes, Sharon, would you like to take a question and answer?
We have time for one question before we end the session. If anyone has a question.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, please ask.
Hi, I have one question. Hi, my name's Sajida. I just want to say thank you for your lecture. It was so interesting. It's so nice to learn more about Arab culture. I learned so much actually today. But I wanted to ask you, when you talk about giving people compliments earlier, and you say that they should always say mashallah, but if someone gives a compliment and they don't say mashallah, or they don't say something like that, if you were the receiver, and you know this has happened to you, what would you do in that situation?
Sorry, can I ask you again? Do you mean who you speaking about? The person who's given his admiration, or the person, or the listener to the admiration?
As the listener, so you're the listener, and somebody gives you a compliment, and they don't say to you mashallah, they just say, oh, I like this. What do you do if you're
Okay.
receiving that?
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Usually, actually, this is also a very big subject, but I can give you a few answers to this. Usually, Arabs, they use different, I would say, different strategies for that person, especially if they believe in the evil eye, and this person, he show his admiration openly without saying mashallah. So usually, sometimes they might say, they might take it or make a like a sense of a humor. They will say a joke to get your attention away, or sometimes they will actually rephrase what you say, and they say mashallah. Another way, they will say, maybe they will say to you, no, for example, if you say your child is very good at school, then the mother, she will say, no, he's lazy, he's not good. Another way can be actually, there are many ways actually, people use it, or strategies to say to the other people. They will say to you same compliment. They will reflect the same compliment to you. Like, for example, if you say to the lady, your hair is very beautiful, she will say to you, no, your hair is more beautiful than me. So there are many strategies. Actually, it's a very big subject to talk about it now, and there are many strategies to reply for the people. But usually people, they understand that you showing your admiration and compliment, but if they're very traditional, they would like you to say mashallah or ism Allah when you say it. Hello, Sajida.
Thank you. Yeah, that answers my question.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Sharon.
Yeah, I think that's all the time we have for today. We thank you for the session. It was really very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, join our hands together and just thank you, Zeinab.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for your hard work.
Yes, we hope we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for all the audience for who have made their time today to the session. I hope you enjoy it and you learn something new.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. مع السلامة. Goodbye in Arabic. مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.